Mr. Dennis Tan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My questions are for the SMS, Lam Pin Min. Thank the SMS for his answers. I got a few clarifications. First, regarding his answers to me in respect of my suggestions for the TSS, the Traffic Separation Scheme. The arguments you raised regarding my suggestion for non-crossing. You mentioned about vessel bunching at the suggested U-turn spots. I have considered these arguments. May I also suggest that equally at this moment, that where vessels are coming out from the various anchorages or the terminals towards the TSS, towards the Straits of Singapore, there are already a certain amount of vessel bunching in any event. And I would describe it in this way. The suggestion I have is more akin to a safer flow, because vessels will be moving, imagine by analogy to a land transport, right? What I'm suggesting is something like, imagine cars merging and going into one lane and entering a highway, an expressway, all in the same direction. But at this moment, where the ships are coming out from the various anchorages and terminal, the eastern and the western anchorages, the terminals at Tuas and Keppel, and they are crossing over. So this is akin to something like on the road, they are coming across to an uncontrolled junction where there's no traffic light, and we are relying on the rules of the road. And seafarers will know that rules of the road alone is not sufficient to prevent a collision. So, so I would like to ask the I'd like to ask the MP to reconsider this. I know that ultimately it's a cost-benefit analysis. I know that time is important for our port, for PSA. But where I'm coming from is a safety imperative. We cannot afford any accident, especially the kind of accident that will create oil pollution, for example, which will be a big disaster to Singapore. And hopefully it will never happen. And I'd also like to suggest, regarding my AIS suggestion for government and naval vessel, perhaps this is a little bit awkward as a matter of diplomacy.
If the member can keep it as clarification,
but I really would
rather than
like
a fresh
the government
speech.
to consider raising this dialogue on this at IMO level. And on the issue of enforcement of between bikes and PMD, I said this in my cut, and I would like to ask the SMS to consider a more consistent enforcement against bike offences. For example, I don't see there's any difference between a PMD traveling on the road and a bike traveling against the direction or beating the red light. I think that enforcement measures should be equal. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Dennis Tan for the several clarifications. Indeed, safety is paramount along the Straits of Singapore. And like I've explained in my reply, along the traffic separation, for the traffic separation scheme, we have to have a balance between safety as well as efficiency and expediency of the vessel traffic. And currently, there are already existing safety measures put in place, code of conduct for the vessels when they do the crossings. But we will continue to monitor this very carefully, bearing in mind, like what Mr. Dennis Tan has said, safety is paramount. We do not want to compromise that. And as regards to the turning on of the AIS for government as well as naval vessels, we are abiding by the IMO convention, and I think this is widely accepted by various and many jurisdictions. And with regards to the enforcement of bikes and PMDs, we take this very seriously. Like I've explained in my last parliamentary sitting, the measures that we put in place to step up enforcement action, and at the same time, together with the implementation of the Parking Places Amendment Bill, we're able to have more teeth in controlling the way the bike-sharing operators operate, and to put in measures to ensure that users of bicycles, PMDs, behave in the appropriate manner, as well as to prevent the indiscriminate parking.